December has officially arrived, so you know what that means. It's that time of year when the family comes together, wearing matching PJs, making hot cocoa, exchanging gifts. Oh, and also annoy the crap out of each other and hope to God the damn gifts were worth it. I kid. Not really. But interestingly enough, it's also kind of a decent month for video game releases. And before you think, Dre, I know exactly what you're gonna pick for your number one, let me just say, maybe you're right. But this is still a pretty intriguing list. With that said, I'm Dre, this is Castro Gaming, and these are 10 upcoming games in December that caught our eye. Cue that intro. Get transported to a faraway land, a place where monsters rule. Yup, that was the theme song for the Monster Rancher TV show I grew up watching as a kid. Now, if memory serves me correct, that show was awesome. But then again, I was 10. Bars. So let me just point out that I haven't played any of the Monster Rancher games recently, but I was just pleasantly surprised that this title was still around, let alone getting its own remake. This installment puts Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX in an all-in-one collection for returning fans and new fans alike. As a rancher, you will raise your own monster and train them to compete against other monsters. With hundreds of monsters to choose from, each with their own special skills and abilities, every rancher will be able to find a monster that's a perfect fit for them. For me personally, this pick was purely nostalgia based, but there's no doubt that people who are into cute critters beating the ever-loving snot out of each other will find some enjoyment in this Pokemon-esque installment. Grab Monster Rancher when it drops December 9th on Steam and Switch. Now, I'm a big fan of the Star Fox series, but this game takes the concept and expands on it in a way that I haven't seen, well, so far from Nintendo's franchise. Chorus is an open world, or space I guess, third-person shooter that lets you pilot a spacecraft and pull off some impossibly sick maneuvers. Space shooters aren't that rare, but I don't think I've ever seen one move quite as well as the one we get to see here. The level of speed and momentum that is carried when your spacecraft makes a simple turn is something we usually only get to see in racing games. Never would I ever thought to make a spacecraft drift, and yet it makes all the sense in the world. I can't wait to try it out when it drops on consoles everywhere. I'll be completely honest, there's next to nothing in gameplay for this title, but this reveal made me immediately nostalgic for days of arcade downhill snowboarding games like SSX Tricky in a way Ubisoft's Rider Republic did not, which is a little strange to say, because by the looks of it, this game seems to be taking more of a realistic approach to snowboarding, more akin to the beloved Skate series. Either way, I'm of the opinion that the more snowboarding games we have, the better, or the merrier. 'Tis this season, right? Either or, I'm excited to see where this one takes us. Regardless of what anyone says, 2021 has definitely been a good year for Microsoft and Xbox. They've used this rocky console generation to make a sizable dent in the Xbox has no games argument, and win a slew of goodwill from current and would-be Xbox and PC gamers with its ever-expanding Game Pass library. Although Sony still seems to have the edge when it comes to massive AAA titles that people are willing to throw money at, Game Pass allows subscribers a relatively risk-free way to dip their toes into a new IP that may pique their interest. Case in point, the GUNK. Now, while not much gameplay has been shown, what we have seen promises a beautiful landscape that devs seem to only have thought could be possible on next-gen hardware. While traversing otherworldly landscape using a vacuum glove to remove space slime isn't the most engaging premise, the charming voice actors and nostalgic puzzle platforming designs have roped me in just enough to give GUNK the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I know I'm cheating a little bit, but hear me out. There was no way we were going to leave this one off the list. The mobile game that simultaneously took the world by storm and added the word sus to the suburban household vernacular is finally making its way to consoles. Not only that, it's bringing a host of new features, game modes, and animations, and a lot more. If the server can hold up long enough, I'm sure this one can reign supreme over the leaderboards on Twitch, and our collective attention spans once again. Solar Ash is a new IP coming to current and next-gen Sony consoles that immediately reminded me of Haven and Sonic the Hedgehog. The gameplay focuses on fluid movement systems that seems to flow effortlessly into relatively simple combat. The combination of speed and platforming very much has that 3D Sonic feel to it, but in a more non-linear environment that seems to be accompanied by a fever dream. The level of character design is giving this IP a sense of charisma that is definitely growing on me, holding out on any judgment until I see a bit more. Five Nights at Freddy is a more recent franchise compared to some of the other entries on this list, but it has a dedicated fan base that eagerly awaits each installment so they can feast over all the new jump scares and gameplay and all the sweet lore. Five Nights at Freddy. This new entry seems to be a new take on the original formula with more open areas and your very own pilotable Gundam. Animatronic. Whether this new approach will breathe new life into the game is anybody's guess, but I'll definitely keep an eye out. Now this one's a blast from the past. The Wars franchise makes its return to the gaming world with a complete remake of the first two Advance Wars for the Switch. I guess that's a trend nowadays with these two game remake bundled whatever thingies. A pioneer in the realm of turn-based gaming, Advance Wars will be perfect for a new generation who wants a taste for more methodical gaming, but who are more comfortable gaming on new-gen consoles. You know, I was never much of a Final Fantasy fan. Blasphemous, I know. But I do enjoy the spectacle and the grandness of it all. I've tried playing it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Or in my case, a cup of coffee. Sorry, Cloud. Put it this way, if I went over to a friend's house and I saw him playing it, I'd probably just sit and watch him play. It's actually a pretty decent looking game. This is the fourth expansion in the Final Fantasy XIV Online, which was originally slated to release in November, but was delayed for 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure a lot of FF fans can't wait to put their hands on it, and that's why it made this list.
Differently.
This is my world now. Humanity will be all but a memory. This ring will be operational.
So, you were right. I mean, come on, it's Halo. Hello? Who else was it gonna be? Lawnmower Simulator? This game needs no explanation. The behemoth of a franchise which has a UNSC Army equivalent of a loyal fan base, if not more, makes its return. Of course, fans lost their collective minds over the graphics when it was first revealed, but I was somehow not concerned, because in my mind it was still in development, and there was no way a next-gen video game would look like that, especially an Xbox exclusive. Thankfully, new reveals of the updated polished version has quelled fans' concerns. Multiplayer is currently available and free to play, which I'm sure most of us are having a field day on, but the campaign will be available on December 8th, which I'm very much excited for, mainly because of the open world aspects, something that's never been done in Halo, and I'm a big sucker for open world games, so here's to a new Halo.
Battle ends here. Bear witness.
What are some of your picks for December? Are any of them on this list? Drop a comment below and let me know. Also, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so you can know when we drop fresh content. Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Dre, and like I always say, play on, player. Peace.